Violent crime rates in Canada are going up. Is it true? And if, how bad is it in Canada? This and other questions I'm going to answer right now. So first of all, the reason for this video. You may or may not have already watched it in the news. An unfortunately really bad example of criminality here in Canada. In Toronto, in our biggest city, there was a horrible incident. And what happened, I can't go into detail in this video, is that apparently some people were speeding around in the city of Toronto and then in their road rage got angered and shot at some civilian people just walking by the pedestrian way, minding their own business, and now people are in the hospital. And according to the media and to the police, it is not gangs or some cartels or something, no. It was really just some innocent people being shot by some bad people. So how are the crime rates here in Canada, Eugene? Well, it depends on whom you ask. I saw some, even news and other, some news and experts saying it's getting worse. Not by a huge margin, but it is getting worse. And just yesterday I saw one news saying, no, it's completely not true. It is in fact going down a little bit and it's not going worse. Well, I don't know. In my gut feeling, I can tell it has been gotten worse in Canada a little bit, not hugely, not like in other countries, but it is getting a little bit worse. Now, where is it? Where is it happening in Canada? As I told you right now, it's this happened in Toronto, and most of our crimes are happening in our bigger cities like Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal and such. But, and here's the thing, and I will be here showing some articles which actually say that it's not only our big cities anymore, it is everywhere around as well. It is in the prairies, it is in other places as well, the crime rates. And yeah, some of the crimes are just like small crimes, right? But they're crimes nonetheless. So the places with the highest crime rates, it always depends on the population and other things. As I mentioned, Toronto is basically number one. However, according to the population, my city, Saskatoon, is usually, or most of the time, number one, or our capital from this province, Regina, is number one or number two. Yeah, which is really unfortunate. Another city that has unfortunately some problems is Winnipeg, our neighboring province. They have, like, according to population, it's less, but it's a bigger cities and they are more gang related and they have lots of gangs, unlike my city, which doesn't. But even here, things happening and bad things. And so yeah, apparently this is more now a trend and it's going around. And I can tell you, like, I don't want to talk and badmouth Canada, but I know stuff like this is happening in Canada and people are just kind of like blind because they don't want to see Canada as a bad country, Canadians themselves, but it is happening in Canada, definitely. So what kinds of crimes are we talking about? Well, apparently it's the violent types of crimes that are going up. So we're talking about mugging, beating people, stabbing people, shooting people. But most of the shooting happens usually in Toronto, but there are always exceptions. Like last year in my province, unfortunately several people died from gun violence in just one incident over a day. Very tragic. Honestly, mostly I think the problem is that it's not being talked enough about violence, gun violence and everything else, because we don't want to badmouth Canada. We perceive Canada as a different place than the rest of the world because it's safe and everything, but we do have our problems and we need to talk about it. And unfortunately in Canada, too many people have been too reluctant. Me as a foreigner, I can really tell you stories about it, because when I talked with Canadians about those issues, they were not very happy about it and were like, they wanted more to hear praises about Canada. And Canada is very praiseworthy, many things, but it's not perfect. Let's not forget that. So this was just today a small video I wanted to talk really about because it was really close to me, because it's something that affects all of us and hopefully it is going to get better and hopefully we as a society stepping up and doing something towards it. Thank you for watching and I wish you and your family a safe day. Goodbye.